everyone, welcome back to my channel. So one of the questions that I receive quite often is how do I use cream products? Talking about cream blushes, cream bronzers, cream eyeshadows, cream what else? Highlighters. So in this video I'm going to show you just a really simple everyday type of tutorial using cream products. So if you're interested, keep on watching. That sounded very YouTube-y and it scared me for a second. First step is primer, and these three are some of my most used primers. So this one's the obvious new one in the bunch. This I received as a sample. This is by Vapor and it is their Luminous Primer. Then we have the Milk Makeup Blur Sticks. This is the luminous one. This is the OG Matte Blur Stick. All three of them are really nice. These two have a very similar formula. Just one is matte, one is luminous. This is a lot creamier. Looks like this. So you can even see just by looking at the stick, it is a much creamier formula. I feel like this is much better for someone with drier skin as opposed to these guys that are, I think, for all skin types in my opinion. I'll use both of these. I'm gonna apply this guy down the T-zone and then the luminous version on my cheeks where, you know, it's a little bit drier. Not super dry, but a little bit more. To apply them, you can just, you know, use your fingers. I like kind of pushing it in to my skin. For foundation, I'm actually gonna use one of the Fenty Beauty matchsticks. And I'm gonna use the shade Ivory. Swipe first, and then using a brush, I'm gonna start blending it out. There's nothing overtly complicated about this. It's actually quite simple, so it's good for someone that's like on the go or someone who travels a lot, doesn't want to deal with, you know, something liquid. I'm actually gonna use the shade Linen, which is a little bit lighter, as concealer. I'm just gonna place it underneath the eyes, around the nose, a little bit here. And I use the same brush just to blend it out. Sometimes for more coverage, I do like bouncing whatever brush that I'm using, because then you're not like buffing away the coverage, you're not moving the coverage around, you're just kind of stamping it in place. If you like a beauty blender then, or like a sponge, you can use that same bouncing method. If you wanted a fuller coverage, you can go ahead and do another layer of this, but I am completely fine with this level of coverage. I think this is pretty me. Pretty standard for me. I usually go for something that is medium coverage. I want my skin to still look like skin, but just evened out. For contour and bronzing, I like these three products. So this is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked. This is a lot more subtle, in my opinion, a lot more creamy of a formula. It's just beautiful. It's a really nice bronzer. I don't know why it took me so long to buy this, because it is just, it's stunning. It really, really is. And it smells like Play-Doh, so it's a little nostalgic for me. I also have these two matchsticks by Fenty Beauty. So I like using the shade Latte as a bronzer. It's just kind of like a yellowy undertone bronzer shade for me. It's not orange, it's not red. So it's a nice bronzer shade for someone who has more of a warmer complexion like myself. And then I do like using Amber. This is a cool gray undertone matchstick. So this one's actually a really great contour shade if you happen to be around the same skin tone as I. These two are really nice, but I do like the shade Latte a lot as well. So you can kind of choose whether you want a true matte finish or if you want something that is more, I wouldn't say this is dewy, but it's a little bit more skin-like than these guys. So for contour, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty, the matchsticks in Amber. So I just stripe it. Really, there's nothing too precise about it once again. And I like taking a synthetic brush. For cream products, synthetic brushes, if you want to use brushes, is the way to go. Avoid using natural hair. I just don't like natural hair in general. I do have a few that are still natural hair, but They're mostly eyeshadow brushes for face. I just like to avoid it. I think it feels scratchy. They break off easily, so synthetic is my personal preference. And I'm just gonna start just buffing. Small circular strokes just to blend it out, but these just blend out so easily. There we go. I just blended it out. I'll do it on the nose sometimes. It's not like a complete necessity. My nose doesn't bother me, but sometimes I just like having some color up here so I don't look super pale. Now for bronzer, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer. You can either stripe it on or you can just take it on your brush and then apply it. I tend to do both ways. It just depends on my mood and my level of laziness, to be honest. So I think I'm gonna do this. Usually I do one or the other. I typically don't do contour and bronzer every single day. I'm just way too lazy to do that. So for the sake of this video, I'll do both. And I'm just gonna place it right above the contour to bronze up the face. You can do the forehead too, but I have bangs, so I just stop right here. And then I'll do a little bit on the tip, a little bit on the bridge, because I like having that kind of uniform color. And then you can do a little bit on the chin. Now for cheeks, I have a few different products I really love. I have the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Sticks. These are fantastic, very creamy, pretty much the same formula as the matte bronzer. So they're super easy to use. They work amazingly on the cheeks as well as on the lips. So they're truly a multi-purpose product. I also have been really loving the Make Beauty Lip and Cheek Stick. This one's in the shade Bisou Bisou. It is beautiful. Once again, multi-purpose. It actually does work as a lip product and a cheek product. Normally, like in the past, I haven't found that to be the case. I usually find that it works better as a cheek product and it feels uncomfortable and gritty on the lips, or vice versa. Maybe it's too creamy to be put on the cheeks, but it works great as a lip product. That's how I feel with the Fenty Beauty. I do have two matchsticks that are more, blush shades. These two work a lot better as blushes. On the lips, they feel very gritty and dry and uncomfortable. So if you were thinking about trying the matchsticks as blush, they work great as blushes, but not so much as lip products. So I'm just gonna I'm actually gonna do the Make Beauty, the Bisou Bisou, because I'm gonna be using a lot more milk. So Milk Makeup will have their turn in just a second. So to apply a cream blush, you have two options. You can either go directly from the stick, which I find that it applies too much if you go like this, especially with such a dark color like this one. So typically I'll either use my fingers. I like using these two fingers. I just find them the easiest to just press and blend. Or you can use a brush. So this one's the e.l.f. small stipple brush that if you've been on my channel for years, you probably remember how much I love this with cream blushes. And I still do. It's been like my faithful cream blush brush for such a long time. So I'll show you both ways how to apply with your fingers as well as with a brush. So I'll take a little bit on my fingers. So this is the amount that I would start off with, and it might be too much. And then I just kind of go in and do really small tapping motions. This is actually perfect. It looks really bright, but it will get a little bit more muted once I set it with powder. If you're using a brush, I like taking just, again, a little bit on the brush. Again, really light motions. You don't need to be like pressing the brush into the skin really hard. It's actually a very similar action than what we did on this side, but with a brush, so it's less messy. And sometimes I do like carrying just a tiny bit of the product across the bridge once again. Now for highlighter, I do have a lot of cream highlighters that I love. Once again, I do really like the Milk Makeup options. I have the highlighter in Lit, I have the holographic sticks, I also do have the glossy halo scopes. I have all three shades. So it just kind of depends on what mood you're in, what type of product, what company you want to buy from. I also love the RMS Living Luminizers. This is one of their quads that I got last year. Let me see if I can open it. This one's stunning. So it looks like this. You can use whatever brand, whatever type of product, stick, or an actual pot. I'm gonna use the RMS ones because I haven't used them in a while and I used to love using them. I don't know why I stopped. So I'm gonna use them in this video. And I'm taking this shade, which is called Luminizer X. I'm just dipping my finger in. And then I'm gonna apply it on top of the cheekbones. I like applying with one finger and blending out with my clean finger. But this is dewy. It is beautiful. Oh my god. Why did I stop? Why did I stop using this? This is so beautiful. I'm gonna apply just a little bit on. If you have oily skin, this is where I would recommend to just set everything. If you have more dry skin, you can just use maybe like a setting spray. But I happen to have really oily skin, so I like setting everything with powder. You can use any powder. I'm just using a Bare Minerals one that I had like right here. This is the Perfecting Veil in the shade light to medium, but literally any translucent powder will do. So now let's jump on to eyeshadow. I love the Milk Makeup, the eye pigments. Those I would qualify as a cream eyeshadow. I also do like using a lot of the same products that we previously used, like the bronzer and the matchsticks, the highlighters as eyeshadows. But another product that I haven't used in a while are the Bite Beauty multi-sticks. This is in the shade Nectar and it is such a beautiful purple, as you can see. So I want to use this on my eyes. I have used it before and I loved it, but I want to use it again. The one thing I will say, if you have really oily eyelids, you can always prime, but if you're using something very, very creamy on the eyes, you know, you're always going to get some creasing. Personally, I don't mind it, but it is something to consider if you really find that annoying. For cream eyeshadow, I do like using my finger the best, so I'm going to take a little bit of the formula right on my fingertip. You can stamp to deposit color, then use a clean finger to blend. You can also use a brush, but I have my fingers right here, so why not use my fingers? And I typically just use my fingers. So that's it for the cream eyeshadow. I mean, you can always go in with more shades, blend that on the crease, do like an inner corner highlight. I actually want to do an inner corner highlight, but with the highlighter, I'm going to take some of this shade. This one is Champagne Fizz, and I'm going to add it just in the inner corner. And finally, for lip products, you can honestly use any of the products that I previously talked about. You can use the matchsticks, although they're not my favorites. You can use the lip and cheek sticks by Milk Makeup, the Make Beauty lip and cheek stick. You can use the By Beauty multi-sticks. You can use any lipstick or lip balm that you want. It's up to you. There's really, I mean, there's really no winners. Just really, truly what you like, your preferences. I'm gonna use one of the lip and cheek sticks. I'm gonna use Quickie because I think it'll play really nicely with our eyeshadow today. And I'm just applying it on my lips like a regular balm or lipstick. But that's pretty much it for this makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed getting some recommendations and seeing how I use cream products. Like I said, I have really oily skin, and despite that, I still love my cream products. These wear really well if you have oily skin, combo, dry, pretty much anything. Well, if you have drier skin, then just make sure you use something more moisturizing for the matchsticks, because some of them are very, very matte. But apart from that, everything's very creamy, very blendable, super easy to use. They travel so well. You don't have to check them because, you know, they're a solid, so you don't have to worry about TSA, putting them in the little bag or anything like that. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or have any other product recommendations, because I love anything in a stick. They're just so easy to use. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!